Greetings Libra, and welcome to your month ahead Tarotscope for the month of December 2015. This reading is for you if your sun, moon, or rising signs are in the sign of Libra. I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling here. Of course, I have already extensively shuffled with the purpose of mixing all the cards around real good and letting all the old energy from the prior reading I just did to be shaken off. So the purpose of my shuffle here is to allow the appropriate cards for you, Libra, to the top of my deck, to allow them to come up to the top of my deck. So I just go ahead and shuffle, continuing to concentrate on the energy of Libra as a whole, and concentrating on the month ahead, the month of December. So I'm just waiting for some sort of intuitive guidance. Sometimes I hear something, maybe I see something, or sometimes I just know it's time to stop shuffling. Okay, so the first card in this spread is going to talk about how you're feeling heading into this month. So how you're feeling in this current moment heading into the month of December. And we have the Three of Swords. So there's a real vibration of heartbreak right now, a vibration of grief. So you're feeling like you've lost something. And for some of you, this might be very literal. Maybe you have ended a relationship. And your heart really does feel like there are three swords that have just buried themselves into your heart. But this card can mean so much more than just the end of a romantic relationship. Perhaps you've betrayed yourself. Perhaps you are the one who has stuck these swords into your heart. Maybe you've lost something like free time. Are you overworking yourself? Are you taking on more than you can handle? Maybe it's a loss of energy. Maybe it's a loss of self-love. We mentioned maybe you have stuck these swords into your heart. So whatever you're thinking about right now as you watch this video and you see this card and you're listening to my voice, whatever you're thinking of, that's your intuition letting you know what this heartbreak is about. There's definitely been some stormy days for you lately, and there's definitely been a feeling of grief and of loss. Maybe it's a loss of childhood. Maybe you feel like you have so many responsibilities now that you have no free time to be playful, to be a kid. So I encourage you to do some reflection, starting with that kind of intuitive feeling that you had or you have right now as you're watching this reading. Maybe for some of you, right away, you knew what this card is referring to, and maybe for some of you, you're not really quite sure. So I encourage you to sit in meditation. Ask yourself, what does this card mean to me? Ask yourself, what am I grieving? Or take a journal, a piece of paper, a pen, and write at the top your question. And then just write. See what answers you have inside of you that you didn't even know that were inside of you. I also want to say this is a natural card, a natural process for the season that we're in. As we kind of finish up autumn, I think a lot of us are in that state of letting things go. And it's almost on hyperspeed right now because we're moving closer and closer to the winter. We're moving closer and closer to a time of deep reflection. This is kind of our last chance this year to really let go, to cut things out of our lives that we no longer want. Whenever I do see swords, I do think of that. What do I need to cut out of my life? Or what do you, Libra, need to cut out of your life? So I think you have been thinking about this lately. What do I need to cut out of my life? And maybe you have even taken action. Maybe you've started to cut those things out of your life. And naturally, that feeling of grief, that feeling of release, that mourning process, that's a natural part of this process for sure. Card number 2 is your general forecast for the month ahead. So your general forecast, Libra, for the month of December. I have the Page of Pentacles here. I think this is a really lovely card to come up after this Three of Swords. The Page of Pentacles is asking you to be childlike again, to really view the world through the eyes of a child. You can see this figure here. He's holding this pentacles in his hand. He's gazing upon it. He's really like in awe of it almost. His entire attention is captivated by this one pentacle. So I feel like the healing answer, if you will, to this grief you're feeling is about really focusing your attention on one task at hand, one activity, something you really, really enjoy, something that helps you stay grounded and come back into your body, come back into a place where you feel calm and centered. And really giving that activity, that thing, whatever it is for you, for everyone it's different, but whatever it is, giving it your full attention, really letting yourself be absorbed by it, and using that as a healing mechanism. And again, listen to your intuition here. If you're like, oh yeah, that's the painting that I've wanted to do for months, but I just haven't done it. Well, this is the month to start painting. And for all of you, it's not going to be painting, but whatever that is for you, that was just an example. So really letting yourself be fully immersed in this activity or this project or whatever it is. The energy is available for you this month to support you through this focus on this self-care activity, I'm going to call it. So really going for it this month. Card number 3 is your upcoming challenges. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, whenever this card comes up, I think life lessons, big life lessons. This card is all about cycles and things coming full circle. And for you, I feel like whatever you're letting go of right now, whatever you're mourning right now, this is a big part of your life lessons. If whatever situation you're in right now that's causing you this grief, if it's happened before, and when I say that, I mean if you've, let's for example, you've just had a breakup and you've left your partner or your partner has left you, and your last relationship, your relationship before this one, ended in exactly the same way. If you're seeing those patterns, then this is part of your life lessons. It means last time you didn't quite learn it, so it's happening again. Or maybe you learned what you needed to learn about that situation, but there's another level, another layer that you need to learn about this time. So those cycles, those natural cycles of learning, of transformation, of growth, that's a big part of why we're here in this physical form, in this lifetime. So your challenge this month is to really embrace this learning, to embrace the fact that this is important, that this happened for a reason. This happened because there was something that you needed to learn from it. And maybe the learning is just how to get over it, how to move on, how to allow yourself to move into this yellow energy of happiness and vitality, how to turn this into this. And learning about that and allowing and accepting what is happening in your life right now. And this is coming in, this card is coming up in the upcoming challenges position. So yes, this is going to be challenging for you. You're not going to want to accept. You're not going to want to understand. But you will, because this is the Wheel of Fortune card, and this is life lessons, and this is things coming full circle, which means this is a lesson that you will work through. And we have this Page of Pentacles card here for your general forecast, so you will move into this energy of vitality, of wonder, of excitement. You will move into it. But it's that process of getting from point A to point B that will be a little bit challenging for you this month. Card number 4 is your good fortune, blessings, and abundance. So this is all the beautiful, wonderful things that are coming your way in the month of December. And we have the Emperor. Now this card is really about discipline, about being firm with yourself. The Emperor is the archetypal father, so think about all those archetypal father qualities. And I think for you, the biggest one is having that discipline, being firm with yourself. And I think that this is important when you find yourself spiraling into grief. At a certain point, you're going to find yourself saying, all right, listen up. I just can't go down that rabbit hole anymore. It's time to make a different decision. And you're going to find that kind of self-talk, that kind of, okay, something's got to change. You're going to find that process pretty easy. It's still going to be challenging, but it's going to come. And that's the blessing. That's the blessing this month, that you will find yourself climbing out of that rabbit hole. And it'll be you who gets yourself out of it. It's not going to be anyone else. It's going to be you. So this is kind of the answer to how you get from point A to point B. You tap into the Emperor energy. And this is how you will complete your circle. So the blessing here is that you are going to learn so much about standing in your power, tapping into your power to get yourself from this Three of Swords energy to this Page of Pentacles energy. The last card in this spread is this month's lessons. So if you've watched my videos before, you know that I'm really big on lessons, on learning. I really believe that every situation that we find ourselves in is an opportunity for growth. And we've already kind of talked about that in this spread since we have the Wheel of Fortune card right here. So let's go a little bit deeper, Libra. What are your specific lessons for this month of December? And we have the Three of Pentacles, and I think this is beautiful because we just talked so much about how it's going to be you that gets yourself from this place of sorrow to this place of vitality. And I think your lesson is, yes, it will be you. This is you here standing on this bench talking to these other folks. It will be you. You're wearing this yellow apron. That's the color of power. So yes, it will be you. But the lesson is reach out to others. Ask for help when you need it. You have people in your life who will support you. And yes, it will be you who gets you from point A to point B, but it's okay to reach out and ask for help when you need it. It's okay to say, I need some reassurance. Can you tell me that I'm doing a good job? And there will be those people in your life who say, yes, you're doing great. And hearing that will help you move forward along this cycle. It will help you walk out of that rabbit hole. So it's important this month to really balance keeping yourself vital and it being just from you. And also recognizing that it's okay to be influenced by others. Really seeking out those positive influences in your life and asking for help from them when you need it. So this concludes your reading for December 2015. If you're interested in a personalized reading, you can find the link to my Etsy in the description below.